Welcome to OB's Math E-Pathshala.
Today's topic is Cauchy's residue theorem
So
and its applications.
let us recall that what do you mean by the residue of a function f at an isolated singularity z equal to a? That is the residue of fz at an isolated singularity at z equal to a is defined to be residue at a is 1 by 2 pi I integration over gamma fz dz, where gamma is a circle centered at A with radius r, and it is a circle in the annular domain in which f is analytic. So this is the definition where f is analytic on annulus a 0r and 0 less than small r less than capital R. So this is the basic definition of residue of a function f having isolated singularity at z equal to a. And with the help of this definition and the LoRa series criteria, we can also derive a formula for the residue of a function f having a pole of order n. So for a pole of order m, the formula has been derived as, that is, limit of b m minus 1 dz m minus 1 z tends to a of z minus a m fz by m minus 1 factor. This. So we have already discussed about this formula. Now we shall prove another important theorem in complex analysis, which is known as Cauchy's residue theorem. Regarding a function f having isolated singularities at finitely many points in an open set G. And this theorem says that the integration can be achieved by evaluating the residues, respective residues at the respective isolated singularities. That is, without doing any integration, we can have the value of the integral with the help of this theorem. So this is very crucial, and as an application, we can have several improper integrals that can be evaluated with the help of this Cauchy's residue theorem very smoothly. So let us have a look on the theorem. The statement of the theorem is, so let gamma be a simple closed path. What does it mean by a simple closed path? That is a path, that is path is a function from a closed interval 0, 1 into the complex plane. And this function is 1, 1. So therefore, gamma be a simple closed path in an open set. That is, we are considering this in an open set G such that gamma is homotopic to 0 in G. That is, gamma can be shrunk to a point in G. And now suppose that a function f which is analytic on gamma, that is on the trace of the gamma, that is if it is gamma, then the function is analytic on this and union interior of gamma. Since it is a closed path, so it will divide the plane into two connected components. One is this, another one is the exterior. So we are considering this. This is the interior of gamma. So f is a function which is analytic on the trace union the interior of this closed path. But except having isolated singularities at finitely many points. Z1, Z2, Zn in the interior of gamma. That is, these singularities are lying in the interior of gamma, not in the trace. So these singularities will lie in the interior part of gamma, not on the trace. Then integration gamma of fz dz will be, the value of the integral is 2 pi I multiple of residue of f at z1, residue of f at z2 plus residue of f at zn. The statement of the theorem is very simple, but it has many applications in complex analysis. And the proof can be sketched by the use of mathematical induction. On the number of isolated singularities. So that is, suppose we have only one isolated singularity, that is n is 1. That is, it has only one isolated singularity of fz. Suppose z1. Then choose an r greater than 0 such that BZ1R is contained in the interior of gamma. And since Z1 is an isolated singularity, so F is analytic on BZ1 R minus Z1. That is, we need to choose R greater than 0 in which F is analytic on BZ1 R minus Z1, but BZ1 R is also, it should be contained in the interior of gamma. That is, we are considering this one. This is BZ1R. Then, by the definition of residue, so one can have that. So one can define this is the path, this is the circle, and this is the circle on which we have to evaluate the integral. That is 2 pi 1 by 2 pi I integration over gamma r fz dz, where gamma r t is centered at z1 with radius capital R. Two pi. And also recall that since gamma is homotopic to 0, and also since gamma is homotopic to 0, this path, this is gamma, so this path is homotopic to 0 inside G, and also this circle is also homotopic to 0, and since being homotopy is an equivalence relation, so gamma is homotopic to gamma r, and it is known that by a version of Cauchy's fundamental theorem, if it happens that gamma is homotopic to gamma r, then the integrals integration fz dz over gamma will be equal to the integration fz dz over gamma r. So what we can recall that these two integrals are same. This. But this is 2 pi I multiple of residue of f at z1. So therefore, this is 2 pi I residue of f at z1. So hence, this result is true for n equal to 1. Now suppose that n equal to 2. So it has two singularities, two isolated singularities at z1, z2 in the interior of gamma. In the interior of gamma. That is, if it is the path, so it is z1, it is z2. So we can you can define two radius for which their closed balls centered at z1 and centered at z2, they are distinct. Since the space is a T2 space, that is any two distinct points can be separated by open sets. So we can choose BZ1 R1 bar, BZ2 R2 bar such that both of them are in the interior of gamma and having the property that they are disjoint. They are disjoint. This.
স্যার বলছি মাথায় বারটা দেওয়া হলো কেন?
মাথায় বারটা দিলাম এই কারণেই যে এই দুটো পাথ আমরা কনসিডার করব, এই যে বাউন্ডারিটা, এই যে সার্কুলার, এই যে ডিস্কটা, এই যে BZ1 R1. So we are considering the path that is the boundary of this disk BZ1 R1, and for that disk BZ2 R2, and they are homotopic to gamma. Their union is homotopic to gamma. So for that reason we are considering the closure. So let gamma 1 and gamma 2 are the boundaries of BZ1 R1 and BZ2 R2 respectively. And then we have that integration gamma fz dz must be equal to integration gamma 1 fz dz plus integration gamma 2 fz dz, since gamma will be homotopic to their union. Now by the case 1, so this is going to be residue 2 pi I multiple of residue of Z1, and this is again 2 pi I multiple of residue of F at Z2. And this proves that 2 pi I multiple of residue of sum of the residues. Now since the number of isolated singularities that we have considered in interior of gamma is finite, so using mathematical induction this process will terminate after a finite number of steps. If it has 100 many isolated singularities, then it will terminate after 100 steps using mathematical induction. That is, since 1 is true, 2 is true, so for n equal to 3 it is true, for n equal to 4 it is true, n equal to 5 it is true, by using the similar arguments for case 1 and case 2. So since the number of isolated singularities of F in G is finite, in the interior of gamma is finite. So the process must terminate. Application of this theorem, let us evaluate this improper integral. Dx. So how to tackle this kind of improper integrals in terms of complex Cauchy's residue theorem? So how to transform this problem into a problem of complex integration? So let us first consider, let fz is z square plus 1 plus z to the power 4. That is, we are considering this function as a complex function, and it is defined on the set of all those complex numbers except the roots of this equation. So that means these roots are the isolated singularities of this function. Okay. Now, to view this problem in terms of Cauchy's residue theorem, we first need to think of a path which is a simple closed path gamma, having the property that it is homotopic to 0 in the defined open set G. So we first consider this path. So let us have a real R which is greater than 1. And then let gamma be the closed path consisting of. So let us draw the picture of this path. So this is R, this is minus R. So gamma be the closed path consisting of this semicircle, which is denoted by CR of the semicircle, CR. So it is R e to the power it 0 less or equal to t less or equal to pi, and the segment, that is, and the segment minus R, that is, gamma is the union of CR union this. This is gamma. This is our simple closed path in the domain of definition. Now, why we have chosen this kind of R, that is, which is greater than 1? So it will be clear after the evaluation of the isolated singularities of Fz. So now let us find out the roots of this function. So by de Moivre's theorem, so it is Z is I 2k plus 1 pi by 4. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3. So there are 4 roots. And explicitly we can write them as e to the power I pi by 4, that is 1 by root 2 plus I 1 by root 2. Now another one is Z1, which is minus 1 by root 2 plus I 1 by root 2. It is Z2, which is minus 1 by root 2 minus I. This is the conjugate of Z1, and the last one is Z3, which is 1 by root 2 minus I. That is, it is the conjugate of Z0. So there are 4 roots, and these are all exactly the isolated singularities of Fz. So if we place these roots on this picture, you will find that now 1 by root 2 plus I 1 by root 2 and minus 1 by root 2 plus I 1 by root 2. So these two roots will be inside this path that we have defined, since R is greater than 1. So this justifies the choice of capital R greater than 0, capital R greater than 1, sorry. So since capital R greater than 1, so within this path only Z0 and Z1 are the isolated singularities of Fz within the interior of gamma. Okay. So among these 4 roots, we need to consider only 2, Z0 and Z1, because they are lying inside the path gamma. Other roots can be deferred. And also note that since these roots are distinct, so Z0 and Z1 both are simple poles, that is poles of order 1. Simple poles, that is poles of order 1. Now since they are poles of order 1, so we have the simple formula to derive the residue at both these singularities. That is, the residue at Z0, so it is actually limit Z tends to Z0, Z minus Z0 Fz. That means limit of, so it is Z tends to Z0, Z square plus by So z minus z1, z minus z2, z minus z3. Now putting the limit, so it is z0 minus z1, z0 minus z2, z0 minus z3. And similarly, so if we calculate this complex number, you will find that this complex number will be 2 root 2 1 plus I. Just putting the values of z0, z1, z2 and z3. And similarly, residue at z1 will be 1 by root 2 root 2 1 minus I, minus 1 by 2 root 2 1 minus I. So we have calculated already the residues. Now using the Cauchy's residue theorem, so by Cauchy's residue theorem, what can we say? That is integration of gamma fz dz. So it must be 2 pi I into sum of the residues of fz at the isolated singularities lying within the interior of gamma. So that is at z0 and z1. So this will be the value. Now what is gamma? Gamma is the union of two paths. One is the semicircle and another one is the line segment. This one. Yeah. So one is the semicircle this and another is the segment minus RR. So the integral will be divided into two integrals. One is for minus R for the line segment and another one is for the semicircle. And it is 1 by 2 pi I. If you calculate the sum, then it will have, so it will be actually 2 pi I 1 by 2 root 2 1 plus I minus 1 by 2 root 2 1 minus I. Now if we calculate this one, this will be 2 pi I 1 by 2 root 2, this will be common, and then it will have 1 minus I minus 1 minus I by 1 plus 1 minus I square. So this, that is 2 pi I 1 by 2 root 2. So this will be cancelled.
স্যার ওটা মনে হচ্ছে পাই বাই রুট টু হবে ক্যালকুলেশন করে।
সেটা আমি দেখছি minus 2i by
টু হবে, টু হবে।
এটা কত হচ্ছে?
টু
এটা 2
One.
হচ্ছে, তার মানে তোমার হচ্ছে, so it is, so I square will be minus 1, so minus 1 will be plus 1, 2 cancelled, so it is 2 pi by 2 root 2, that is pi by root 2, right? So it is pi by root 2. Now we see that for this integral over the semicircle. What we can have? So over this, we can estimate this integral as, so it is less or equal to, now over here mod z is, this is r. Look at the picture. This is r, the radius is r. So over here mod z is r. So this will be less or equal to r square by, now for this denominator what we can have, that is mod of 1 plus z to the power 4 will be greater equal to mod z to the power 4 minus 1. Since r is greater than 1, so it is r to the power 4 minus 1, as r is greater than 1. So therefore this is less or equal to 1 by r to the power 4 minus 1 into modulus of the integration dz over cr, so which is the length of the semicircle, that is pi r. So thus it is pi r cube r to the power 4 minus 1. So then we can have, so it will be, so pi by r 1 minus r to the power 4. So now as r tends to infinity, this part will be 10 to 1, and for this reason 1 by r tends to 0. So this tends to 0 as r tends to infinity. Since we have considered this r which is greater than 1, so we can extend this to infinity, and by this extension this integral will be minus infinity to infinity. Now since it is on the real line, so we can put the variable z as x, real variable x. So thus integration minus x infinity to infinity fx dx is pi by root 2. That is integration minus infinity to infinity x square 1 plus x to the power 4 dx is pi by root 2. So with the help of Cauchy's residue theorem, you observe that without doing any integration, we have deduced the value of the integral, improper integral. But if we consider this problem in real analysis, then this will be more cumbersome to handle. This will not be very much easy as that of the case of by using Cauchy's residue theorem. Now let us do another problem. Let us do another problem. Okay, yeah. Another example of improper integral number 2, which is integration, find integration 0 to infinity 1 by 1 plus x square dx. So prove that this is pi by 4. This is pi by 4. So again, let fz is 1 by 1 plus square of 1 plus z square. For all z belongs to C minus roots of z square plus 1 equal to 0. Okay, roots of this. Yeah, roots of this. So since for the denominator 1 plus z square square, so if z has double poles at z equal to I and z equal to minus I, right? Since this power is 2, so I is of multiplicity 2 and minus I is also multiplicity 2, and they will become the double poles at I and minus I of the function itself. So that is two singularities. One is at I, another is at minus I. So now again our trick is to choose a path. Gamma which will include the singularities, isolated singularities of Fz within the interior of that path, gamma. So let again gamma be the closed path consisting of the semicircle CR, which is r e to the power I theta, 0 less or equal to theta less or equal to pi. In that case, yeah. So 0 less or equal to theta less or equal to pi, and the segment. The segment minus r, where r is a real which is greater than 1. Why it is greater than 1? Since the modulus of these two roots are 1. So we must choose the radius beyond this modulus, because after that there will be no other singularities of Fz. There may be only two singularities, that is I and minus I. So therefore if we choose this one, minus r, and this is CR. So if we tend r to infinity, then there will be no other singularities except বলো।
বলছি সব সময় কি এই পাথটাকে সেমি সার্কুলারই ধরতে হবে?
না, তার কোনো মানে নেই, এটা তোমার আরেকটা এক্সাম্পল আছে, আমি বলবো। নট দ্যাট যে তুমি সবসময় মানে এই সেমি সার্কেল একটা নিলে একটা সেগমেন্ট দিলে, এটা একটা পাথ। এই পাথগুলোকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা বলি উই আর কলিং দেম কন্টুর পাথ, and these integrations are called contour integrations. You need to choose a suitable path for each problem. For that reason, the path of this problem and this problem looks like same, but in some cases it will not be the same, because whenever you have isolated singularities, suppose you have a function fz which has isolated singularities at this point, at this point, at this point, at this point, and so on. Now, how do you choose this type of semicircle? Because if you choose this one, suppose it is minus RR, now let it go to infinity, then it will be large one, it will be another one. So at each time it will contain more singularities than the previous ones. That is, this path contains this singularity, this path contains this singularity, and this. Again, for the next one, this path contains this singularity, this singularity. So at each time you have to consider more singularities than the previous ones. Then how do you calculate the integral? Because then the residue, in terms of residue theorem, you will have an infinite series of residues, right? So you cannot choose this kind of paths for that problem. So the trick is that you need to consider a path which is like a rectangle. This, okay, this one. Now if we let R to infinity, then this rectangle will enlarge horizontally. That is, this will enlarge to this will go to this, and again it will go to this, go to this. So in each case it will have exactly one singularity that we have considered in the starting. So that is this one. We do not need to consider all these singularities. We need to consider only one residue. So for these problems, we need to consider this type of path. Okay. Now come back to our problem. So in this way, so by choosing this path, so you will see that this path, the interior of this path will contain exactly one singularity at I. So by Cauchy's residue theorem, integration over gamma 1 by 1 plus z square dz is equal to 2 pi I residue at I. So that means, since it is the union of two paths, the semicircle and the segment, so again we can divide it into two integrals. One is, so for this case we will change it to the real variable x, and for CR it is integration of 1 plus z square over CR. So this is 2 pi I into residue at I. So you need to evaluate only one residue at I, but I is a double pole. So you have at your hand the formula for double pole. That is, it will be limit z tends to I d dz of 1 plus z plus I square. Now if you calculate this one, it will be 1 by some 4I, something like that. And again, in the same way as we did in the last problem, so modulus of, just consider the estimate of this integral, the square of 1 by square of 1 plus z square over CR. So this will be again less or equal to 1 by square of r square minus 1 square and modulus of integration dz over CR, that is the length of the semicircle, which is pi r. And this one is due to mod of z square plus 1 is greater or equal to mod z square minus 1. Now we are doing this integral over the semicircle, so it is r square minus 1. So therefore this will tend to 0 as r tends to infinity, and hence you will have, so integration by letting by letting r tends to infinity, so it is minus infinity to infinity dx by 1 plus x square square, and it will be equal to 2 pi I cross 1 by 4i, that is, it is pi by 2. Now since this function is an even function, so it will be 2 into integral 0 to infinity dx by the square of 1 plus x square, so it is pi by 2. So that is integration 0 to infinity dx by 1 plus square of 1 plus x squared is 1 by, so pi by 4. So this proves the theorem. So these problems can be achieved by considering the paths, which is the simple closed path taking one's semicircle union a line segment. So I must end today's lecture here.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share.